Shalom Aleichem, good evening, good night. Chatzot, in the middle of the night. We'll learn a little bit from the wonderful book Likutey Moharan, Torah that had been gathered by the main student of Rebbe Nachman of Breslev. The student name was Rabbi Natan of Breslev. Breslev is a city, a village in Ukraine. And Rabbi Natan gathered the Torah that he heard from Rabbi Nachman of Breslev. And in Torah 92, Rabbi Nachman is saying, Al yedei ma she'adam navanad betoch beito, even just by that simple thing that a person will walk from one side to the other in his house, yachol le'achayot metim, he can revive the dead. He can bring back a dead person to life. כמו שכתוב באלישע, like that it's written on Elisha, the prophet, כשחיה את בן השונמית, when he revived the child of the woman that was named the Shunamit, it's written on him, וילך אחת הנה ואחת הנה. It's written on him that he walked to that side and to that side. He went one step to this direction, one step to that direction. And it's written in the Zohar HaKadosh that by the power of the lungs, who brings air, oxygen that is cool, on the heart that is hot, the heart is a flaming fire full of blood, and without the lungs that brings cool air to reduce the heat of the heart would burn all the body. And the lungs and the heart are in the aspect of Yaakov and Yosef. Yaakov, he is the father, Yosef is the child. Because Yaakov, he is in the aspect of truth, like the verse is saying, Titen emet leYaakov, you're going to hand the truth to Yaakov. So we see that Yaakov, he is in the aspect of truth. And the truth is in the aspect of the Torah, like that it's written, Torat emet, that the Torah is the Torah of truth. And in the Torah there are 5 books equal to the 5 wings of the lungs. It's written in Tikkun Zohar, in the Zohar HaKadosh, that the lungs are built out of 5 different wings. And Yosef, that he is in the aspect of the heart. So we see that Yaakov, he is in the aspect of the lungs that brings the cool air to cool the heat of the heart. And Yosef, he is in the aspect of the heart because Yosef is being called Tzofnat Pa'aneach. Tzofnat Pa'aneach means he can break the codes. He can answer the secrets. He can reveal the hidden truth. Break the code, I think it's the closest explanation to the words Tzofnat Pa'aneach. Uchtiv, and it's written as well, Belibi tzafanti imratecha. I was putting the code of my faith in you in my heart. So you see that the code is treasured in the heart. So Yosef, that his name is the one who can break the code, he has the access to the heart because the code is in the heart. And when the heart is flaming in fire, and it might burn all the body, so you have that difficulty that when the heart is in flames of fire, so it might burn the body. So by the fact that the 5 wings of the lungs are moving, that the person is breathing, and they bring the cold wind, the cold air to the heart, and they are reducing the heat of the heart. And this is why it's been said on Yaakov, Bikesh Yaakov, Yaakov was asking, and now we're going to learn that verse on that topic of the lungs that are cooling the heart. So we're saying that the lungs that have been compared to Yaakov, they are asking. On Yaakov it's written, Bikesh Yaakov, Yaakov was asking, and we learned that Yaakov is in the aspect of our lungs that are cooling the heat of the heart. So our lungs were asking, Leishev beshalva, to sit calmly. Yaakov was asking to sit calmly. He wanted to be relaxed and to be settled. Kafatz alav rugzo shel Yosef. But the judgments that were belonged to Yosef, the decrees that took place with Yosef, that his brothers sold him to Egypt, to the Ishmaelim and then to Egypt, was risking the quiet of Jacob. It was a temper, it was a decree, it was a heat that flamed on Yaakov. So you see that the heart that is in the aspect of Yosef brought up heat on the lungs that are in the aspect of Yaakov, that was willing, that was wanting, he wanted to cool the heat of the heart of Yosef. So by that we can see, from all this learning, from all these teachings, we can see that by the fact that a person, that he's in the aspect of Torah, that his mind is set to learn Torah, like that it's written, Zot HaTorah Adam, that Torah is a person, all the Torah is reflected in the person's life. Navanad afilu betoch beito, he's moving from one side to the other, means working out or breathing or walking from one place to the other, thinking holy thoughts while breathing, even inside his own house. Yachol leshakech et ha'esh, he can reduce the heat of the fire. Shu b'chinot dinim, that is in the aspect of judgments. V'yachol lachayot metim, and can revive the dead that will be alive. Look on the great potential of a person. I can tell you that from my own life experience, that many times I had a feeling that I need to do certain things, that I need to go with my heart, that I need to, let's say, if I went to do hitbodedut, if I went to go and talk to the Creator and to pray, I felt that I need to make a certain circle around the pond or around the forest, or that maybe now I'm going to walk between those two trees and not in the on the road, to go off the road. Every time something else is happening in your thoughts, and it wakes you up to find the real thing that the Creator wants you to do, because there are sparks all over the creation of God, and the Creator himself, he is the one who knows what you really need to do, and you're not always aware to his will, but he wakes you up to feel it and to sense it and to choose it if you listen to the voice of your heart. For an example, when you sit to eat and you have few things on the table, you have rice, you have potatoes, you have other kinds of vegetables, you have drinks, you have few things that you can choose, and you're choosing based on colors, based on your memory of flavors, and you feel like, oh, okay, you know what, I'm going to try this one first and that one later, and you allow yourself to flow in a certain way in the meal. And another person that will dine, will sit with you, will choose different things. His inner voice will guide him to choose different things before and different things later. And that is because that there are certain sparks that need to complete you, that needs to feed you in a certain order. And the Creator is using your own senses and even your desires, your thoughts, your heart, to guide you in a certain path. Now, when the person will connect himself to the Creator in that wonderful way and will earn and will gain all those sparks that he can, if he listens to the positive voice of his heart. For an example, if you have those different kinds of food on the table, I heard from some people in the past that they had a problem with eating, that they have a certain fear that food will disappear from the table. They want to take food fast before someone else will take it. You can imagine to yourself that that person went through some trauma in his childhood or whatever, and he was scared, very scared, not to have all he needs, all the food he needs. And therefore, he is forcing himself very fast to collect a lot of food and to put it to his plate, and then he will eat out of that fear, out of that pressure that there will not be enough left for him to eat. And then he's eating and actually feeding his own fear. But when the person is relaxed and calm and breathing and listens to his positive voice, to the voice of his soul, then he will be able to see a wider picture in front of his eyes. He will be able to smell. He will be able to choose. He will be able to eat the right amount for him to feed his soul, his spirit, and not only his fears, not his body. He will choose certain things and will take them and will choose them properly based on the illumination of his soul, the inner guidings of his neshama, of the Creator through his soul to him. Now in life you have many options like those, and you can never ever know what the Creator is treasuring for you along the way. But a person that will be tuned to that inner voice of his soul will find and will be able to collect all those treasures. For an example, there is another Torah in Likutey Moharan that the Creator revealed to Rabbi Nachman, to this righteous man, a huge wisdom. And he told him, and the Rabbi Nachman of Breslev told us in his Torah, that when you walk in the street and suddenly you reach a certain place, that over there you have holy thoughts. You start thinking about Torah, you start thinking about tshuva, and you want to correct yourself and to fix yourself. So Rabbi Nachman of Breslev say, stop in that place. Don't walk away. Because it might be that the only reason why you are now waking up to do tshuva, to come closer to Hashem, to think those holy thoughts, to pray those holy words of prayer, is because of a hidden spark that is treasured in that place. And if you will walk away from that place, you might stop thinking those thoughts. There is an option that those thoughts are not coming because of your mind, because of an inner illumination of your soul. It's coming because of the place itself that is holy, that is precious. And when you got into that place, when you passed through that holy place, those sparks woke you up to do tshuva. It can be that that place is holy, and it can be that that place needs you. It doesn't matter really why that place wakes you up to do something holy in that place, but a holy person, a person who is aware to his inner feeling, will feel the connection to that place. Like that you feel more comfortable to sit on one side of the table, or with your face to the door, or with your back to the door, with your face to the window, or with your back to the window. Some people choose to sit in front in the car, in the first seats of the car, and some other will choose always to sit in the back of the car, in the back of a cab, in the back of the bus. You have people that in the cinema will choose to sit in front and will choose to sit in the back. Some people feel comfortable in public, in crowds. Some people feel more comfortable to be alone and to stand and to look from the side. There are reasons for all those things. And even if you're not totally aware to them, it's very good to listen to them. And how will you know if you're walking on the right path or if you are following your fears? Try to listen to your thoughts. If the guidings are separating you from the public, if the negative thoughts are forcing you to separate yourself from good things, you can recognize that very fast, that that voice is the voice of an evil inclination. It's the voice of separation. It's the voice of darkness. It's the voice of some kind of shadows that are terrorizing you and making you concerned and worried and scared and shaky in your life. But when you recognize that those voices of yours inside your mind are voices of logic, are voices of a process of growth, of an inner understanding, I feel more comfortable that way. I feel that that thing will do more good for me. I'll be able to think properly in that way. If I will sit like that, I'll be able to express myself more. If I won't sit that way and I'll choose to sit in a place that is not comfortable for me, I will be worried. I won't be able to listen. I won't be able to focus. The whole lecture, I will be confused and lost and terrified. You need to listen to your inside and to recognize the inner positive guiding of your soul, and then to choose it. Like the Torah is telling us, Ubacharta b'chaim. You should choose life. The Torah been given to us by the Creator for us to find life with it, through it. We need to look for life, and life is joy, and life is happiness, and life is satisfaction from what you do, and you should find it inside the borders of Torah, inside the zone of holiness, to find the right way into the Torah, into living life of inspiration and holiness and purity, doing good things with your life. But not only that, that you can bring yourself up to the right path and to come closer and closer to Hashem, also you can reach those high levels that you will revive the dead. And you don't need to be in the level of Elisha the prophet to revive the dead. You don't have to. Many people saved lives of people. Many people made amazing acts in their lives that affect lives of people in a positive way. Many people, me for an example, that I'm not a prophet and I am not a magician and I'm not a doctor, and many people told me, you saved my life. Now, I can say, okay, it's a way of saying things, but if that person was honest and he felt that I literally saved his life and he expressed it, why that I will not appreciate that enough to believe that I was able to save a life of a person? If he said that from the bottom of his heart and he told me, you saved my life, I need to appreciate those words that came from an honest heart to give me that compliment, because that's what he really feels about my help, about my friendship. And you are standing in the same place as well. You can never know how powerful you are with your prayer, with your work, with your conversations, with your learnings. Yesterday I spoke with a person and I told her, did you started learning Kabbalah? And she said yes. And this is a person that I almost never spoke with her in my life. But when I spoke with her, it was so clear to me that she started learning Kabbalah. And I told her, it's a good thing that you're doing. The fact that you now started learning Kabbalah brings a lot of light to your life. It's a very solid light that can be sensed. Now, you're going to ask me, were you using Divine Spirit, Ruach HaKodesh? Or like, no. It was an inner feeling, simple feeling that I had that that person is learning Kabbalah. And I was just simply honest to ask that thought that crossed my mind. Now, ask yourself, did it never happen to you as well? That you had a clear vision, that you had a solid understanding about something? When it's positive, count on it. When it's negative, reject it. The voice of Hashem is always coming to build you up, to stabilize you, to comfort you, to support you, to give you the strength that you need, the healings, the right advice that is needed for you for that place that you are at right now. And it happens to you all the time. It happens to you for a reason, for the fact that the Creator, He loves you. And He wants you to grow, and He wants you to reach your true potential, that you will reach the heights, and it's inside of you. The Torah is not across the sea. It's not behind the highest mountains. It's in your mouth and in your heart to do, to keep. You're able to recognize the truth. And which truth is that? The divine and godly truth? Simple truth. Simple truth. When you're honest, words of truth are coming in your mind, coming out of your heart, coming out of your mouth. When you're truthful, words of truth are revealed in your brain, in your thoughts, in your mind, in your heart. When you are choosing to correct yourself and to admit the truth and to listen to the rebuke and to follow advice that makes sense to you, and you are trying to be as truthful and honest and nice and kind as you can, the illumination of the Creator will heal you completely, will guide you to the correct place for you to achieve the correction and to reach the completion of your soul by collecting and gathering all the holy sparks that are on your path. And a person will collect those sparks while eating, while drinking, while walking from one side to the other in his house, because sparks are the life itself, the energy that lives inside of things. You know that a certain book that you hold, that book, when it's new, when it's good to use, the pages, the papers, the letters will be clear, will be nice, will be clean. But with the years, with the time, after people took another spark from that book and another spark from that verse, from that line, from that letter, the book will lose its power and will start to break and to crumble and to be torn. And when you see that life are disappearing from that book needs a place of respect and to be put aside, and then you will buy a new book that again will hold life and sparks in it. Food, shirts, computers, phone, shoes, houses, blankets, cars, everything hold sparks inside of it. Inside of everything there are sparks of life. If they are good for you, they will give you happiness. And when you will wear that shirt or drive that car or eat that food, it will revive you. It will give you the right energy that is needed for your journey. But if you are not tuned to the positive feeling of confidence, of happiness, of relaxation, you might do things from a negative reason, with a negative motive, and then it might hurt you. If you will choose the shirt for people to like you, if you will choose which book to learn for people will agree with you, if you will choose which car to drive for people to think that you are rich or I don't know what, when you will take those kind of decisions, you will not be able to take out the sparks from that vehicle, from that book, from that shirt, from that food, and it will make your life harder. And people will have negative thoughts on you while driving that car, and people will have jealousy and negative looks at you that won't build you, and the food will not be digested properly in your stomach, and the letters and the teachings of that book will not shine and will not illuminate and brighten your mind and your eyes and your heart. It depends in your inner connection, and in every step of the way a person must connect himself through his own heart, through his own mind to the Creator, to believe that there is a Creator and to remember Him in all our ways. May His blessing hover upon us and shine and illuminate our ways for us to remember to share His goodness with the rest of the world and to brighten the life of all our loved ones. May all our prayers be answered in no time, and please believe in yourself that you have the power as well to revive the dead. If you will pray and if you will listen to your heart that tells you now to stand up, now to put down the fork, now not in a crazy way, not in a wild way, in a positive way. If you have a feeling that you ate too much, put down the fork. If you have a feeling that that place, that seat is not doing good for you, don't sit in that chair. Move to the other chair. Follow the positive voice of your heart that is building you, that is uplifting you, not a crazy wild voice that makes you a prophet or to think that you're the Messiah or Elijah the prophet. A real normal voice who builds you to be a happy person, a normal person, a sane person, not a saint, a sane, normal, logic person, a loving and respectful person. And may the blessing of the Creator hover upon us all and bring us to the peak of our potential, even to revive the dead and to bring the complete redemption in our days. Amen. Thank you.
שום דבר כבר לא יעצור אותי מלהגיע אל תוכי בכל כוחי